Okay, the one problem that we did not finish in class on Monday that you need to know how to do in order to finish A42 is solving an equation graphically. So let's do this one, and there are similar questions on A43 that you should be able to do real easily once you see it. Now what I'm going to do is graph y equals tangent x in blue, and then I'm going to graph y equals negative square root 3 over 3, which is just a horizontal line, in red. And my goal will be to find where do the two graphs intersect. And notice that the instructions say just graph from negative 2 pi to positive 2 pi. All right, so let me go ahead and deal with the graph here. So I need 4 tick marks on each side. And while you really only have to label the 4 tick marks to the right, for this particular kind of problem, I think you're going to find it easier if you'll label all the tick marks since you're trying to solve. I think it's easier just to have everything laid out. Now remember, I know that y equals tangent x, remember, is sine x over cosine x. So whenever the top sine x equals 0, you're going to have roots. So this is just a review of what we've done in class. And wherever the bottom cosine x equals 0, you're going to have your vertical asymptotes. And I remember that this graph is increasing in shape, so I'm not going to reinvent that wheel. I'm just going to sketch it fast. And while I have nothing scaled on the y-axis, really, wherever you graph the line, you're going to be fine. So y equals negative square root 3 over 3. Square root 3 is about 1.6, 1.7, somewhere around there. So divided by 3 will be, I think, somewhere around negative 0.5, negative 0.6, somewhere in that area. So it'll be somewhere along in here. And just take the graph from negative 2 pi to positive 2 pi and no further. So now what you need to do is you need to identify where are the two graphs intersecting each other. Where they intersect will be the solutions. So do you see that I am open circling every point of intersection? So now I know that there are 4 total solutions on the interval from negative 2 pi to positive 2 pi. Well, guys, draw your 30, 60, 90 triangle quickly so you can remember that on the 30, 60, 90, is it tangent of 30 degrees or tangent of 60 degrees that gives you the square root of 3 over 3? Okay, I hope when you looked at it, you realized the reference angle would have to be 30 degrees. Pi over 6 is what I need to say. Because anytime you're answering graphically, remember the x-axis is scaled in radians, so you need to answer in radians. All right, I know that all 4 of my intersection points will be multiples of pi over 6. And I see that I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 solutions. So let me do the ones that are positive first because I think this is going to make more sense to you. I'll go backward from right to left. See the one I just colored in? I can see that if you go up and make a tick mark there, the tick mark is falling between 3 pi over 2 and 2 pi. Now, if you're thinking all students take calculus, then the point 3 pi over 2 to 2 pi would be in here. Well, what multiple of pi over 6 falls in that quadrant? It's 11 pi over 6. And I'm going to put that in my 4th blank because I'm working from right to left or from the last blank back to the first blank. So then I noticed that my second, going from right to left, tick mark, if I were to take it up to the x-axis, that tick mark is falling between pi over 2 and pi on the x-axis. Well, pi over 2 to pi would be here. Okay, so what pi over 6 angle falls there? 5 pi over 6. Now let me work backward again. My next angle, my next point of intersection, if I make the tick mark, is falling between 0 and pi over 2, but on the negative side. Forget about the negative for just a minute. From 0 to pi over 2 would be in here. So that would just be pi over 6. But it's on the negative side, so label it negative pi over 6. And last but not least, the last point of intersection, again, if I go to the x-axis and draw the tick mark, that's falling between pi and 3 pi over 2 on the negative side, but forget about the negative for just a minute. From pi to 3 pi over 2 is here. That means that angle's got to be 7 pi over 6, and then mark it as negative 7 pi over 6 because you're on the negative side. And now you've got all 4 solutions, and that's how you solve an equation graphically.